Kakushi, the Demon Slayer Corps' amazing supporters. The Demon Slayer Corps, the organization specializing in demon hunting, isn't completely made up of just demon slayers. Though they don't fight on the front lines, the Kakushi are a valuable part of the organization. Most of the members are made up of people who weren't able to use a sword very well, making it nearly impossible for them to defeat demons. Even so, their desire to defeat Muzan Kibutsuji, their want for a demonless world, easily rivals those of the swordsmen. Today, we'll be taking a deep look at the special force, Kakushi. We'll be looking at their teasers and mysteries. So, stay tuned till the end. Warning, spoilers up ahead. Continue at your own risk. Who are the Kakushi? The Kakushi are the Demon Slayer Corps' behind-the-scenes workers, taking care of the aftermath of battles. They treat the wounded swordsmen and take them to the Butterfly Mansion and act as a veil for demon-related incidents. Demons aren't well known to most of society, so if remains of battles were left, it would cause confusion and panic. Without the Kakushi and their veil, there would be chaos. It was also the Kakushi that took Tanjiro Kamado to the hidden swordsmith village. Some also work in the sewing division, designing and sewing the uniforms. They almost never get the spotlight, but they do everything other than fight, making them an indispensable part of the Demon Slayer Corps. They have jobs like Kurokos that work in the backgrounds of Japanese stage performances and kabuki, and their uniforms are designed in a similar way, covering everything but their eyes. We briefly mentioned it in the opening, but though the Kakushi want to defeat demons as much as the swordsmen, they don't have the skills to do it themselves. However, just because they can't fight doesn't mean their physical prowess is anything to laugh at. The Kakushi are also official members of the Demon Slayer Corps, so they had to pass the final selection. The only clear condition was to survive on Fujikasane Mountain for 7 days. So, not only did they not need to cut off any heads, but there was also no problem for Kakushis to take the test. In fact, being able to hide for that long might truly test their skills as a Kakushi. When they take the final selection to be a Kakushi, they are probably tested for their ability to make their way around rough terrain, their first aid knowledge and application, and other qualities that are needed for Kakushi. Unfortunately, there weren't any Kakushis in Tanjiro's final selection, so it's unclear whether the Kakushi exam was on a different day, or if there simply weren't any Kakushis that passed. Just because they can pass just by running, without weapons like swordsmen, they have no means to defend themselves. It'll be better if they had a different area on the mountain to take the test. The Kakushi also have ranks, just like the swordsmen. When discussing Kanao Suyuri at the Butterfly Mansion, Goto, the Kakushi, mentioned that she was a higher rank and later said, rank doesn't matter. Unlike the swordsmen though, they can't be visibly graded with things like the number of demons defeated, so their rank promotion is probably slower. Unfortunately, it's impossible for a Kakushi to become a pillar. It might be because of this that the Kakushi respect the swordsmen, and when talking about the pillars, they add Sama to their names or titles. Even Tanjiro uses San when addressing the pillars, so it's clear as day just how special the pillars are to the Kakushi. Let's take a look at 3 specific Kakushis, all with special roles in the story. Gotosan. The Kakushi with the most appearance has to be Gotosan. Gotosan's full name was never revealed. We feel kinda bad for him. So, in this video, we'll be putting San at the end of his name. In the special 100th chapter of the manga, on page 2, we were shown Gotosan visiting Tanjiro at the Butterfly Mansion. Up until now, he was treated like a background character alongside the rest of the Kakushi, so this was a sudden role change. As proof for the role promotion, the first block in chapter 100 starts off with Gotosan's introduction. On top of that, in the second fanbook, while he was knocked out during the final battle cleanup, he took on the role of interviewing all the demons about how they felt being on the receiving end of each breathing style. This might be a message from Wani-sensei that the Kakushi are not just background characters, but important members of the Demon Slayer Corps. Goto-san is 23, making him much older than Tanjiro. Sound Pillar Tengen Uzui and Goto-san are the same age, so every other pillar other than Stone Pillar Gyomei Himejima are actually younger than Goto-san. Even so, Gotosan respects their life or death battles from the bottom of his heart. His wording is kind of rough, but he's a kind person, worrying about Tanjiro just because they're acquaintances. After both the Entertainment District and Swordsmith Village battles, Gotosan visited the injured Tanjiro at the Butterfly Mansion. Their conversations also gave us important clues as to what happened after each battle. His thoughts that Tengen was too tough to be human and that Tanjiro was getting close to his level were like they were pulled straight from our minds. His role as the guy with common sense has to be ranked high among every character in the series. Gotosan also showed off during the Muzan battle. The one that got between in Muzan and the fear-stricken Kanao was Gotosan. Tanjiro came to the rescue almost immediately, so it wasn't like Gotosan was able to do anything, but you need to give him points for manliness. There was also the scene after Muzan turned into a giant baby in the sunlight, and the Kakushi attacking him with a car. Surprisingly, the first one to dive into battle was Gotosan. While the others were too scared to step on the gas, Gotosan decided he was the one who had to do it. As someone with such an important role in the series, his descendants were the ones out of the Kakushi that were introduced in the final chapter. Masao Maeda. Masao Maeda is a Kakushi from the sewing division with large round glasses, also known as Mr. Scum Glasses. He hasn't made his appearance in the canon story yet, but he shows up in the extra pages and the Taisho era secrets. While Gotosan was a recurring character without his full name ever being revealed, Masao is a character so unique that his full name was announced. The sewing division is in charge of making sturdy uniforms for the Demon Slayer Corps, but Masao's obsession with women's uniforms make him stand out. Love Pillar Mitsuri Kanroji's uniform is designed with an opening at her chest, much larger than the others. Mist Pillar Muichiro Tokito even stated that he could sometimes see inside from between the gaps. This uniform was designed by Masao in pursuit of sexiness. Mitsuri did mention how the size was off when she first tried the uniform on, but was told by Masao it was spot on. Believing him, Mitsuri kept that uniform, but was in a surprise when she saw Insect Pillar Shinobu Kocho's normal uniform. It turns out that Masao gave Shinobu a similar uniform with a large opening at the front, but she burned it on the spot. His mortified scream, seeing how well it burned, must have come straight from his heart. Shinobu apparently burned it with oil. It's hard to believe she just carried around oil wherever she went. She must have knew something would happen. There's a chance that Shinobu got some information about him beforehand from her sister Kanae Kocho. Shinobu also had Aoi and Kanao take oil and matches with them when they received their uniforms. So, even Masao had apparently given up on his open chest uniform dreams. However, he still hasn't lost the battle yet. He was secretly making Kanao's culotte pants slightly shorter and shorter. In the extra page in volume 21, when asked about the pants' length, he quickly said that it only looked that way because we chose to see it in that light, therefore completely denying it. Comparing her pants from the Natagumo Mountains and the Infinity Castle battle, the difference is clear as day. So for him to deny it like that means he has to be doing it intentionally. He knew if he did it right off the bat, it'll get burned. So he chose to do it little by little. How sneaky. Masao was also caught being mischievous to female members by Sanemi and was told off so badly that he almost wet himself. Even for a normal Kakushi, Sanemi with his scars and rough attitude makes it hard to get near him. So for Masao, who received Sanemi's wrath once, just seeing him might make Masao want to run for his life. For Masao and his bad behavior to not get fired from the Demon Slayer Corps, his sewing skills must be top-notch. The female Kakushi that stayed by Gyomei Himejima's side. Next, let's take a look at the female Kakushi who never had her name revealed, but stayed by Gyomei Himejima's side for his last breath. After defeating Muzan, Gyomei prioritized the other swordsmen over his own life. Several Kakushi gathered around him in tears. Among them was a female Kakushi who called him Himejima-san. The Kakushi used Sama to show respect for the pillars, but this female Kakushi called Gyomei Himejima-san, so she must be close to him. It was almost like the more natural way to call him slipped out. If they were close at some point in time, It had to be before Gyomei joined the Demon Slayer Corps. Before joining the Demon Slayer Corps, he lived in a temple with a group of orphans, raising them like a family. One day, the temple was attacked and every child but the youngest Sayo was killed. Gyomei punched and beat the demon till sunrise, but Sayo's claims accidentally put the blame on Gyomei, leading him to getting arrested. The head of the Demon Slayer Corps saved him from punishment, but Sayo's words after protecting her with his life left a mark on his heart. Sayo herself also regrets what happened to this day, wanting to apologize for her misleading words that caused Gyomei to be blamed. Perhaps Sayo joined the Demon Slayer Corps as a Kakushi to wait for the right time to apologize. Since Gyomei was 18 at the time, which means it has been 9 years since that incident, so Sayo, who was 4 at the time, should be 13. She might be too young to join the Demon Slayer Corps, but if you think about Muichiro and Nezuko being 14, it doesn't sound too impossible. If she's 13, she would have joined around the same time as Tanjiro. Just before he passed away, this female Kakushi took Gyomei's hand. As soon as she did, Gyomei was reunited with the children from the temple. He was finally able to hear how they thought of him, and after finally getting through all the misunderstandings, he was led to the afterlife. It might be because that hand was Sayo's that he was connected to the children in the afterlife. If this Kakushi was in fact Sayo, it's highly unlikely that she was able to apologize to Gyomei and that Gyomei passed away before she had a chance to. Of course, there's the possibility that she held his hand out of respect as a pillar and that she simply forgot to use Sama. But it's nicer to think that there was meaning behind her choice to say Himejima-san. If Sayo was so bothered about Gyomei that she joined the Demon Slayer Corps, wouldn't that make an intense story? Do you think this Kakushi is Sayo? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Kakushi are indispensable. The Kakushi can't defeat demons, but they play a very important role behind the scenes. The pillars and swordsmen, though all very unique characters, can't take care of everything on their own. The right person has to go to the right place. Not only do they take care of the aftermath, their desires to defeat demons are just as strong as the rest of them, making them perfect for their jobs. Even the insane Masao Maeda that we introduced today, though obsessed with anything sexy, also has a strong want to defeat demons. Instead of one person with overwhelming power defeating Muzan, everyone, Kakushi included, pitched in to defeat him, making it a key point to Demon Slayer's amazingness. Muzan was so strong that they needed the background supporters' help to defeat him. It didn't end with the Kakushi not being involved in the battle against Muzan, and their strong-willed showed through. Thinking back, Sanemi's brother, Genya, was also not a swordsman, so if he didn't have his demon-eating powers, he might have become a Kakushi as well. If Genya had become a Kakushi, instead of forcing his way into battle, he might have been able to reunite with his brother sooner. On the other hand, the Kakushi could have also been able to fight using Genya's specially made gun. Though the Kakushi mainly worked after the matter, the chances of them encountering demons isn't zero. Even if they can't use Nichirin swords, they might have felt much better having some kind of weapon they could defend themselves with. That's all for the Kakushi that supported the Demon Slayer Corps. Supporting the Demon Slayer Corps to the fullest. What do you think about the Kakushi? What else do you think could be seen about their stories? Comment down below. Thanks for watching. We have more amazing videos coming up, so subscribe to get notified when the next one goes up. We'll see you next time.